last time we went in. It'll do. Bring him in." She turned and started toward the back entrance of the house, expecting him to follow. Her long white hair fluttered in the breeze. The actual wind, sure as shit not from her snail's pace in those orthopedics. Knowing it would be another 10 minutes before she moved the 4 feet to her back door, he stomped past her into her musty palatial home in the established Queen Anne neighborhood. He found the goop in the cabinet where she kept the rest of the medicinal supplies, and applied it and a makeshift bandage over the aptly named hissing tyrant. "No one appreciates me, damn it," he swore, having earned a huge scratch on the inside of his tatted forearm. After he set the cat down and watched it tear away around the corner, deeper into the house time forgot, Sam walked into the living room and waited for Willie. She kept a neat, if dusty, pad. Everything had its place, from the collectible Hummels on doilies over the mantel to the tacky tchotchkes gathered with the rhyme and reason only Willie could understand. She finally entered the house and sank into her favorite chair, a plush, hideous green and yellow flowered lazy boy that had probably been fashionable 2 decades ago. Like Willie, everything in the house had an expiration date that had long since passed. The old cats and dogs with nowhere else to go didn't mind, though. According to Willie, they gave her a reason for living, and she gave them the love and affection they craved. Probably why Sam couldn't make a clean break from the woman either. With his best friend in love, and the woman who practically raised him borderline psychotic while planning her own wedding, he was at odds for companionship. Sure, he could have hung out with the other guys at the garage, but he didn't want to seem like a charity case. Just because Foley had hooked up with someone didn't mean Sam had nothing to do. He didn't, but they didn't need to know that. Willie leaned back and kicked up her feet with a sigh. Her elderly shepherd, Pygar, clambered by her side and sat on his haunches while she stroked his head. "Did you find Scruffy?" Barbarella, a fluffy white Persian that always looked dirty, and Mathmas, a long-haired Chihuahua, walked in together and sat on Willie's other side, in their shared dog bed. They stared at him with flat gazes, as if he were nothing but giant prey. He still thought it more than odd Willie had named her animals after characters in a 60s science fiction movie, many considered soft porn. But whatever. "Scruffy? He's safe." "Where?" "Some shop on Queen Anne took him in." At the remembrance of Scruffy's rescuer, his heart started thundering. "Some chick picked him up a few days ago. I would have stepped in, but it was dark and she threatened to call the cops." Willie cackled. "Got a good look at you, eh?" He scowled, knowing he looked like the ex-con he in fact was. But hey, better tats and muscles to scare away a threat than get his ass handed to him. He'd had enough of that growing up, and he didn't want to remember what prison had been like. Tyrant appeared and twined his big orange body around Sam's ankles. The purring sounded like a freight train, but the bandage remained around the cat's head. "As a matter of fact, she didn't see me. I was in the shadows, but there have been a bunch of robberies on Queen Anne. I didn't want to get busted for something I didn't do, just because I was in the wrong place at the wrong time." "Good point." She nodded to the side table against the wall. "Grab me my sticks, would you?" He stepped over the cat and grabbed her bag of yarn and knitting needles. After handing it to her, he watched her gnarled hands move like lightning. "What are you making this time?" "A scarf." "You know, it's almost April, right?" She gaped in feigned shock. "You're shitting me. April? Here I was thinking I'd better get a turkey for Thanksgiving." She snorted. "It don't need to be cold for me to make a scarf. I make what my fingers want to make." "Sure. Okay." He ran a hand through his hair, needing to leave but unsure of where to go. Ray's? Home? Foley might be there. Then again, he spent most of his nights with Sin anymore. Not that Sam could blame him. His best friend had somehow convinced the sexy redhead to date him. Tyrant returned, doing figure eights around Sam's feet. "Well, shit or get off the pot, boy. You stayin' or goin'? What's up your craw?" Woman had a real way with words. "You and the rescue gang. You get a home for Scruffy yet?" Casually, because he didn't want to seem too eager.